it's Kris.
And I'm Wyatt Elliott from Notebook Entertainment.
And you're watching Horrorland News. Okay, so coming up this week on Notebook TV, Tuesday we're going to do our slasher advocate for Mrs. Loomis and Billy from Scream 2 because we had a little bit of a trouble with our...
teleprompter.
There you go.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word.
We invested in new equipment, guys, and we have a teleprompter.
Yep, we're figuring it out still.
So we're figuring it out, but it helps her a lot so she doesn't have to rack her brain and memorize all of that. If you guys didn't know that, watch any of her slasher advocate videos. She memorized all of that.
It's horrible.
To say it.
Yeah, the Halloween one was like 9 pages or something.
Yeah.
It was really
now,
crazy.
to be fair, we didn't make her memorize it and shoot it all at once, but still, that was very trying.
So we figured it out. It is filmed. It just has to be edited, so we can say yes, it is coming out Tuesday this week.
It is official, yes. I'm so excited for that.
Wednesday, we normally have Thanks We Hate It, but Alex and I needed to take another hiatus week. So we won't have that, but when we do come back, we've decided we're going to do something fun, and we're going to count down backwards through the decades, and each episode we're going to do our worst horror of the decade. So...
Boy, I can't, obviously there's a lot in every decade, but I feel like the 80s is probably going to be the best.
I don't know. I think
there's so much horror in the 80s.
There's a lot of horror in the 2010s and 2000s too, but not a lot of it's as good as...
Well, especially if you start counting direct-to-video, direct-to-streaming, so I don't know what your guys' qualifications are going to be.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But it's going to be a lot.
So Friday, we're going to have another episode of Filling Plot Holes, and we're going to explore why Marty McFly's parents don't recognize him as, what was it, Calvin Klein was the name he used?
Yeah, it sure was.
I haven't seen that movie in a while, so I'm going to rewatch the movie. I mean, I know what happens, obviously.
Obviously.
All right, so let's move on to TV Roundup.
No TV and no beer make Homer something.
So, in case you somehow didn't know, Severance had their season finale on Friday, and oh my God, was it a season finale?
Yeah, it was so good that we decided to drop everything and record a special review.
Yeah, so check it out.
Of the entire series. It is full of spoilers. So please make sure you watch the show. It's really worth it. Then watch our review.
Yep. And then they have been announced for season 2. So yes, because if they had left it, I would have rioted. I really would have.
Yeah. There would have been some petitions out there, I think, for somebody to pick it up for sure.
Yeah. Apple TV would have been dumb to not renew this show.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we're talking about the new Interview with the Vampire TV show. That's going to be on AMC.
I just learned of this.
AMC has released 4 images on Twitter, including 2 featuring Sam Reed as Lestat and Jacob Anderson as Louis. Anne Rice, in case you didn't know, she died in December of last year. She and her son, Christopher, are listed as executive producers.
Okay.
And I have been reading, and... if you know the book and the movie, then you know that a lot of characters in the book didn't make it to the movie. This one seems to be, I think because it's a TV show, they have more time. They're going to be more true to the book. They have the sister character back in. They have, I think, her love interest back in. So yeah, they've taken the book characters, and if you don't know them from the movie, you better read the book. So before this comes out, it's going to be 7 episodes in season 1. And it's going to be released this fall on AMC and AMC Plus. There's no concrete date yet, though.
And 7 episodes. They're getting shorter and shorter.
I know.
It's like they're doing the Marvel thing now.
Well, they have the book. There's only so much to go off of in the book. That is
very true.
And then what's next? Queen of the Dam, and then the Vampire Lestat, or I don't remember which order they go in.
I know in the movies Queen of the Dam was the second one they made, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember which order they go in.
I am glad to hear that she's an approved producer, or was a producer, because that is the first thought I had was she involved in at least the creating of the show, And,
right. And her son is a pretty similar writer to her. I've read some of his books.
Okay.
So he's probably going to take over the reins and make sure it's what it should be for the fans of her work.
Good. Because I know the movie's a classic now, but I know when the first one came out, it was very controversial that Tom Cruise was a stat.
Yeah, she didn't like it at all. She
No.
hated it. But then I guess after she saw it, she was like, okay.
That's what I heard, too, yeah.
I don't like Tom Cruise, but he did good in that movie.
Well, I remember it was fine. I don't know.
I was much younger though, so I was all about Brad Pitt. I was like, hi.
I know.
I was so jealous of Kirsten Dunst. She got to kiss him.
Yeah, wasn't she only like 12 or 15 in that movie?
Yeah. Well, so was I when that movie came out.
Well,
you know?
fair.
All right, so let's move on to our trailer part. All right, so the first one is for an HBO limited series called The Baby. It is a horror comedy series about motherhood, and it looks funny, weird, and I'm kind of down. It's created by Sian Robbins Grace and Lucy Gamer. It'll debut Sunday, April 24th, so it's coming up. And it's starring Michelle Desuarte, who you may know from The Duchess, if you like kind of British shows. It is a British movie. Here's the plot. 38-year-old Natasha, who is furious that her closest friends are all having babies, but when she is unexpectedly landed with a baby of her own, her life dramatically implodes. Controlling, manipulative, and increasingly cute, the baby twists Natasha's life into a surreal horror show. As she discovers the true extent of the baby's deadly nature, Natasha makes increasingly desperate attempts to get rid of it.
Where's the fantasy part?
Right. I was like, this is why I'm not a mother, guys.
Right. I'm like...
But the baby's really cute, and according to the trailer, from what I can tell from the trailer, like, she gets it because the mother falls from a cliff, and the baby falls after, and she like, catches the baby. And then the cops are all like, there's bodies! And she's all like... It's amazing. It looks really funny, guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Sounds like it might be worth checking out.
Right. So again, it's HBO. Sunday, April 24th is when it premieres.
All right, sweet. Which also means HBO Max. So.
Exactly. So our next one is called Room 203, and this one is going to have a limited release on VOD and select theaters on April 15th. It's based on a Japanese novel by Nanami Kamon. The screenplay was adapted by Ben Jagger, John Poliquin, and Nick Ricky. Starring Francesca Zureb, Victoria Vinyarska, and Eric Weglin. Directed by Ben either Jaeger or Jagger. I don't know which way he pronounces it.
I'm guessing the people I've known, there's Jaeger.
So this one is definitely, like the last one was more of a comedy horror thing. This is definitely back to more horror. It's J-horror, so if you are a fan of J-horror, here you go.
Cool.
So after lifelong friends Kim and Izzy move to room 203, a quirky apartment with a creepy medieval stained glass window, Kim slowly becomes convinced that their new home may be haunted. With help from her new boyfriend Ian, Kim investigates the tortured history of the apartment, discovering a string of disappearances of former residents, a murder mystery from half a century ago, and an ancient curse that threatens to possess Izzy and kill Kim.
Damn.
Oh.
Sounds like a lot.
I don't want to take credit for it, but the article I read, I think the author taglined it with "Don't trust the bee in apartment 203." I was like, that's genius, sir.
Yeah.
Like, or madam. I don't remember who wrote it, but I didn't want to take credit for it, but it was a great line because I love that show.
And anytime there's something where it's named after an apartment or an address or whatever, my first thought always is, I wonder whoever named it what 203 represents to them.
To them, right?
You know.
So this looks really creepy. It's, like I said, it's limited release, so hopefully it'll go on to some kind of streaming platform afterwards.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Because I'd like to see it. It looks good. I might even look up the book. Which, again, the book is from Nanami Kamon. I'm assuming it's the same name, Room 203. So that's our trailers.
Nice.
Let's move on to our regular news. All right. So a new Robert Englund documentary has finished filming. It's called Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story.
Nice.
It'll have an interview with him, obviously, talking about his life and his career and all of that. It'll feature interviews from his wife, Nancy Booth, as well as Eli Roth, Heather Langenkamp, Tony Todd, Lance Hendrickson, Bill Moseley, and many other horror legends.
Well, I was going to say, they're all going to come out for this one.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
It's expected to hit festival circuits later this year, but it doesn't have a solid release date yet. But they just finished filming, so.
Yeah, I'm sure if no one else, Shudder will pick it up.
Exactly.
You know, so that's exciting. I want to see that.
I know. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I definitely
I
wanna-
like him. I think I like him almost more than Freddy, which is weird to like an actor more than the character. But he transcends.
He makes Freddy likable. How many other people could do that?
It's true.
Look at
Jack Early couldn't.
Yeah, he could not.
All right, so our next story, Rob Zombie has shared another photo from the set of the Munsters. This one showing Herman, Lily, and Grandpa, played by Jeff Daniel Phillips, Sherry Moon Zombie, and Daniel Roebuck. It's from the camera, so it's in full color. I still don't know. I don't like Sherry Moon. I don't like the half hair. I don't.
Yeah. I read an article recently from somebody from the set, and I don't remember exactly who it was, where they said, it might have been Elvira, and she said, give it a shot. What she saw behind the scenes was very positive. She could be just marketing. I don't know.
Right,
but,
you can't shit talk your own movie.
No, but she was, very encouraging. Like, guys, just hang on and wait till you see it. So
Here's something encouraging. It has been given a PG rating.
Yes.
So it will not have any swears, any blood, any,
right. So they are. Here's the thing, though. Okay, you're gonna make a PG horror, not horror, but fun horror film like the original Munsters was. It was always supposed to be a send up of horror, but our parents going to trust taking their kids to a Rob Zombie movie. I think they're having to have a challenge on the marketing on this one.
Yep. And I hate Sherry Moon being cast as Lily so much. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it a shot. I will, because I love the Munsters. I will give it a shot. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know, guys. I'm not positive about it.
No, and if you guys have been watching this show at all for a while now, you guys know that we're not the biggest Rob Zombie filmmaker fans.
Right. I like Devil's Rejects, but that's about it.
Yes, Devil's Rejects, and there are parts of House of a Thousand Corpses that is just fun because he did it like a music video, and it has its moments of just being fun. But in Devil's, I never even watched 3 from Hell. It came to Shudder. I was gonna watch it. I ended up watching the kill count on it. Got discouraged from even watching it, and never watched it.
Yeah, it's not good.
So that's how I treat a lot of Rob Zombie's films right now. I tried watching 31, got through maybe 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, that one was...
The Witches of Salem, I couldn't get through. So I'm hesitant on this movie, but I am going to see it because I love the Munsters. And this is something that I think, as a filmmaker, I am fascinated with, to see this guy who has never in his entire career even tried to have something that's
PG.
suitable for children, even in his music. Or photos.
I am.
His
I'm a much
comic book
bigger
wasn't even for
fan
kids.
of his music than I am his movies.
Yeah. So this is like Hitchcock or something. I hate to compare him to Hitchcock, but this is like somebody, it's like Stephen King writing a horror movie or something. I don't know who to compare him to, but it's like Clive Barker's horror or something.
Right.
So making a kid's movie. So
Hellraiser for kids.
I don't know if I said that right, but that's what I meant. It's like it's a horror icon making a kid's movie,
right.
And that's what I think is fascinating.
Like I said, my biggest problem with it is can he make PG, but also I don't think Sherry Moon's gonna pull it off. I really don't, and I hate the way they've updated her with that half hair bullshit.
I think if anything, the studio will make sure it's PG.
Right.
If they're smart, they didn't give him final cut on it.
I wish he would realize there's other actresses in the world, though.
Yeah,
for real.
Like, I realize it's the only way she can get work, because nobody else ever seems to hire her.
Because she can't act, but she specifically said she doesn't look for other roles. No, she only wants to act in his stuff.
That is true.
So.
That is true. I've read that, too.
Which is fine. Give her a supporting role. She doesn't have to be the star of every goddamn movie.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I was going to
Like,
say.
I act, too. I act in our other videos. Mm-hmm. I'm not always the star. Sometimes I'm just in the background. Like,
exactly.
You take the role you need to take.
Yep. And you take the role that's best for the movie and that's best for the part. And sometimes, sometimes that is hard to do because...
I've turned down a role. We have one planned that he wanted to do with a genie and stuff. And I told him, I said, look, I don't think I'm right for this role. We should hire one of our other actresses who I think would kill it.
Yeah.
Because that's what's best for the production.
Yep, and when she brought that up, I kind of agreed and thought the same thing. And so now we're casting for someone else. And again, it wasn't because she didn't like the part, didn't want to play it, but she came to me and was like, I think it's best for the role. I don't think I can do this the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, fair. And I think that's what she needs to say to
Rob Zombie. Because he's clearly just going to keep casting her. I think she needs to be like, dude.
Because if he really loves her and everything, then he's got rose-colored glasses when it comes to her acting and everything. He's going to love whatever she does.
And it's not good.
And that's fine. That's very romantic. That's, but not...
Her acting is not good, you guys.
Yeah, don't make the rest of us suffer.
Right. She works as Baby. She didn't work as Michael Myers' mom. Mm-hmm. She didn't work as whatever her character was in the
I really hope that he never gets a hold of DC because he'd cast her as Harley Quinn.
They would never give him DC ever. But I could almost see her as an older Harley Quinn.
I could too.
That's the problem. That's a good her. I could see her as Harley Quinn. Can't see her as Lily Munster. Can't.
No. But you know what? Surprise us.
Yeah, I'm willing. I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm gonna go in open-minded. So
yeah, when this movie comes out, obviously we'll show you guys the trailer when it comes out, and we'll follow the story as it goes. When it does come out, we will go see it. We'll let everybody know. And you know what? If we have to swallow crow and eat crow, we will.
Yeah, I have no problem saying it actually turned out great, guys.
Yeah.
I hope I get to say that.
Exactly.
I'm not rooting for him to fail.
We want to have a nice, hearty dinner of crow, okay?
I'm not rooting for him to fail. I'm just seeing that it might happen.
Right, and I think I'm glad we said that. I think that's very important.
All right, so let's move on. We've got a new horror game release set for June 24th for all consoles, with the Nintendo Switch version being released a few weeks after that.
It's usually the case.
Yeah, it's not clear why the Switch version is later.
There's never a reason why.
So the game is called Madison. It was developed by Bloodiest Games. I love the name of their company.
Well, at least you know what you're getting.
Right. It's a first-person horror experience, and the writer from the article says that it's got influences from other horror games like Layers of Fear and Outlast. I haven't played either of those, so I don't know.
I don't know either one of those games, yeah.
They're indie horrors,
okay.
So probably a little harder to get your hands on.
I haven't delved into the indie gaming scene very much, unless my friend Joel will tell me about one that we'll play or whatever, but I haven't seen a lot of them, so.
Yeah. So here's what this one's about. What would you do if you woke up locked in a dark room with your hands covered in blood? Play as Luca and endure the brute torture of Madison, a demon that has forced him to continue a gory ritual started decades ago, making him commit abominable acts. Will you be able to finish this sinister ceremony?
Ooh. Well, okay, that's kind of interesting. It puts you in where you don't know what's happening, and it puts you into a mystery to solve and stuff. It might be like, yeah, that could be cool. I used to play those kind of games where it was kind of like a point-and-click mystery and stuff, and this might be different than that.
Yeah, I don't know
consoles, but still, that's awesome.
Yep, so for all of you video game horror fans there, keep an eye out for Madison. All right, so I want to close out our news segment with a Nosferatu update, a little one. Still no actual official updates from David Lee Fisher or any of their websites, but again, someone tweeted about the project and mentioned Doug Jones in it, and he replied to it. And their tweet was asking if it was a real project.
No.
And his reply, quote, "It's true and it's on the way, hoping by Halloween this year."
Okay.
We'll see.
So it must be in post-production hell then or something.
It's been in post-production for 3 years now.
Well, that's hell. I mean,
that's 3 years now with no, because I went into their Kickstarter, and instead of just looking at the updates this time, which again, still nothing since 2018, I went and looked in the comments, and people still to this day are leaving comments, and they're all getting very sarcastic about it too.
Uh-oh.
Like, hey, welcome to the 4-year anniversary of when this movie got funded and filmed. When are we gonna hear about it? You know?
Right.
So you're upsetting the people that gave you the money to make this. You're upsetting the people that keep hearing about it, like me, who are like, I want to watch this.
Just update us, guys. Obviously,
Just tell us, yes or no. Rip off the Band-Aid and be like, guys, sorry, this was more ambitious than we thought. We can't do it.
See,
or, yes, we're doing it, but here's the problem.
Yeah, here's my thought. If Doug Jones came back and said October now, he had to have talked to them. If he's talked to them, they have to be aware that they're not communicating with their audience. So they just need to have somebody go on to the Kickstarter.
I don't know David Lee Fisher very well,
no.
but apparently he does not have a good reputation among people, because a lot of the comments I was seeing where people are like, how come David Lee Fisher is this? And people replying to those comments were like, please, you trust him to do anything? You know, like, people are bad-mouthing him. And so now I'm wondering if this was all a scam of some sort, or...
I don't believe that. I believe, especially if they got Doug Jones all involved, I believe that there was definitely intentions, and whether those intentions were not well realized or thought out. My guess is that they got it over their heads, and the money they got isn't enough or something, or they're doing it themselves. Maybe they're trying to do these special effects themselves. I don't know. But for them to say October, that tells me, because I remember in the original story, they had promised to come out for the 100th year anniversary. Mm-hmm. So they have until, even though the anniversary's passed, they technically are not lying if they get it out before the end of the year. And so that's probably what they're pushing for. But they need to just
tell people.
That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Go to your Kickstarter page and tell the people who gave you money what's going on.
That's all you have to do, guys. Because I'm getting really tired of coming up with reasons to defend you. And,
there's no reason.
You know,
if it's been 3 years since you've updated people, there's no reason for that.
There
just
not.
isn't.
And that's not cool because.
And I'm sick of Doug Jones constantly having to be the only one with a voice in this. And, like, I feel frustrated for him.
Well, see, this is why. It was such a big deal and a shock to everybody that Chris Stuckman did so well with his, because for a while now, Kickstarter and those kind of GoFundMes and stuff have been kind of sinking because of people not following through.
That's why we waited till the very last minute to donate to Chris Stuckman, because as good as it was going and stuff, we're still kind of like, well what if it's this David Lee Fisher type situation?
And here's the thing, and I never realized this, they probably updated their terms, but when you go to donate, even at Kickstarter now, they say that they're not promising you anything. They're not promising you any results. This is not a guarantee.
It's which is fine. Even if it's not a guarantee, again, just come up and be like, sorry guys, we can't do it. Just say something.
But
something.
That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what the update is. Your fans, your donators need an update. Yep. We're not donators, guys.
Yeah, I had no skin in this game.
This was over when we even found out about it. So we have no skin in this game except for that. I think,
I'm frustrated.
Yes.
I'm very frustrated.
It's frustrating.
So. All right, so let's move on to something more fun, our indie film spotlight.
My advice to young filmmakers, make a movie every week. Make films, no matter what anybody says, and you'll be a filmmaker.
This one is called Goodnight Darling, and it came out May 2021. I found it on the Alter YouTube channel, which we've mentioned Alter before. Their YouTube channel, all they do is feature independent horror shorts, and it's fantastic. Right. I love looking through their stuff.
And this one is all in 4K, which I was impressed with.
And it's only a 6-minute runtime, so it's not going to take up. I chose it because Anna Sophia Robb was in the thumbnail, and I was like, this little girl broke my freaking heart. If you saw Bridge to Terabithia, you know what I'm talking about. She was that little girl. Yeah. So, Goodnight Darling, directed by Adam Asimov, written by Adam Asimov and Isaac Kravitz, starring Anna Sophia Robb, Vivian Lyra Blair, Lauren Bowles, and April Lang. This is what it's about. Two sisters wonder if their mother's strange behavior is a response to recent family loss, or if something more sinister is at work. Goodnight Darling is a horror film about the moment in childhood when we discover our parents aren't the people we thought they were.
That's a good analogy of the explanation of it.
Right.
Because, I liked this a lot. She found it. I watched it. It's very well produced for sure. And, okay, so I'm going to take a guess. The girl from Bridge from Terabithia is the older girl.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
Yeah, the older sister.
Because I've never seen that movie. I hear it's a heartbreaker. But
if you go into it not knowing, like, I didn't read the book first, so I watched Bridge to Terabithia. I had no idea what was coming, and then just bawling.
But this is a typical, little girl sees something in the closet and is scared type movie. But then it goes
deeper,
different direction. Like the minute her mom comes home, I'm like, something's wrong.
Right, something's wrong.
Very, very wrong. And there was.
Yeah,
so.
putting meat in the china cabinet is
Yeah,
not.
right.
That's not where meat goes.
No. And then when after I got done watching it, she was kind of watching it too, and then she goes, "I think that was a creepypasta," and I'm like, "I think it may have been too. I remember this."
As I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I've read a couple of creepypastas that are exactly this.
Yeah, and that's fine. I've definitely read some creepypastas I've wanted to make. I think I mentioned on here before. There's a evil Sonic the Hedgehog game that's a creepypasta that my brother, who's a video game collector, actually owns the version. Somebody made it because of creepypasta. They made an evil Sonic the Hedgehog game, and it's hilarious. And I think it's a fun story.
Right.
I think it'd be a great short film someday.
Yeah. So if you've heard of this story before, I'm sure you have. So, but just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Because it's well acted, well produced. It had all the tension in the right places.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they have or not, but they're definitely ready for feature films.
Yeah.
If
and I would watch a
so
full
desire.
film of this. I think they could stretch this into a full film.
Yeah, I think they could too. I think that campfire stories like this are prime for good movies that haven't been made in a long time.
Yeah, this isn't like that Lights Out where it was like, okay, well, once you get past the first gag of Lights Out, what more is there?
Yeah.
The movie tells us nothing.
Lights Out was a genius short.
Yep.
But to make it anything more than that, it was more of an exercise in just terror and film, and then it really was a storyline.
It was so boring.
But I don't blame him. If I got an opportunity to turn one of my shorts into a feature film, I would too.
Yeah, but this one I could definitely see them being able to stretch it into a full feature.
For sure.
All right, so there it is.
That's our news for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and you can find it right down in there.
Ring the bell.
Make sure you ring the bell. We got Slasher Advocate for Scream 2 coming out right on the corner, guys. You don't want to miss that. And thanks for watching. I think I've said enough now, so I think I'm going to shut up.
All right, have a good night, good fright.
Bye.